Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. It's going to be maybe a new series I have to do where I have concepts of topics that I want to talk about. And just talking about it without having anything going on is kind of probably boring for everybody to just see another talking head video. So what I'm going to do in this one is kind of clean up this Kiesel and restring it while we discuss the topic, which is going to be, I was talking to somebody the other day, and it's kind of the conversation among musicians, maybe guitar players more than musicians, this idea of you're not a real guitar player or a real musician unless, and you guys can fill in the blanks there. You've probably heard it 100 times yourself, maybe 1,000 times. But this was set up in D. I kind of want to go to C sharp standard for a band I'm putting together. So what we're going to use is the string joys. I got 10.5s to 52s. I got to admit that I am a string joy artist now, so take that as you will. I really dig these strings, or I would not have agreed to been, like an endorsed artist of the brand. Very, very good strings. So we're going to set up a C sharp. And like always, I can't find my string winder. And I was going to take them all off, but this is rich light, so there's no need to take it off to clean the board. So anyway, what is today's video about? You're not a real artist or musician unless. Well, unless what? Most of the time, that means you're not a real musician unless you're playing shows. That seems to be the general moment when people start saying that you're not a real musician. And I think that is kind of a silly way to look at it, especially in today's day and age. There's so many different ways to be a musician. 10.5, 13.5, 17, 30, 40, 52. So we're going to start with the 52. And I'm hoping that there'll be very little setup work to do on this because it's only like half of a gauge difference. And the C sharp standard versus D was getting a little sloppy. So this will probably make everything better. One of my favorite types of bridges, I don't know if you saw my different types of bridges video. One of my favorites has to be hip shots, just for the way your palm rests on it when you're playing. They're so comfortable to play. But yeah, okay, so back to the man, if these weren't black. Should have went with silver. I could find out where I'd be able to see where they were at easier. But yeah, so you're not a musician unless, right? Yeah. You're not a musician unless you play a show. Unless you're playing gigs, playing out. Or, okay, you're not a musician unless you're playing originals. You're in a cover band, well, you're still not a musician. Or, I don't know, you get off work and you just want to jam at the house. You're still not a musician, right? You don't write your own music. You're not a musician. You can't play Yngwie Malmsteen style music, so you're not a musician. You can't play death metal, so you're not a musician. You can't play blues rock. Not a musician. Which that elitist mindset people have the elitist mindset people have is it's kind of silly, man. It's very childish. It's like you're still in middle school or something, or you're just trying to swing your dick around, you know, like my dick is much bigger than yours. I find it to be real counterproductive. Turns a lot of people off. And what any of us think about what somebody else does with their passion for music doesn't really matter. You know, that person is enjoying playing music the way that they play music. That should be really all that matters. It shouldn't matter what genre they're playing. Are they playing shows? Are they not playing shows? Are they recording music? Are they using the most expensive amp that you could find, the most expensive guitar? None of that really matters, you know? What matters is the person is having fun. That's really all that matters. Because the elitist mindset can turn people off of playing an instrument in general. And the person that you turned off of the instrument could be the next Tony Iommi. Could be the next Tony Iommi, the next Mac Pike, the next Malmsteen, you know, the next Jason Becker, but because you talked down to them and treated them like crap, they decide not to play. And that's what I would like to see less of out there in the music world is, I mean, it's just too much, man. There's too much negativity. Too much talking down to other musicians for reasons that really don't even matter. Because at the end of the day, this really isn't a career path that most people are going to make money at. I'm sorry, I didn't plan this video out. Like, I didn't come up with like a bullet point plan. Okay, I'm going to talk about this, this, and this. I'm just kind of winging it. Because I don't know if I want to make this a series or not. I just want to see what you guys think with this one. And then going forward, I'll probably get a little more organized. But so, yeah, back to music. Let's say you're not an originals band. Or, well, let's kind of look at all the different ways that you could do music. You could be in a band that plays all original material. You could be in a band that plays 4 sets a night at your local bars. You could be a one-man band solo artist that plays, you know, acoustic gigs or busks on the street. You could be a composer. You could be a guy that writes jingles, songs for video games. You could be a guy that does YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram, social media in general. And there's guys that are doing really, really well for themselves doing that, you know? Or maybe you don't really want to do any of that. Maybe your purpose with music is you want to become a pedal builder. You want to become a guitar builder. I think, you know, Leo Fender didn't play guitar, did he? I think I remember that's what I was reading before, way back in the day. So there's so many different ways that you could find, you know, enjoyment within the instrument without having to be, I am a national or international gigging musician that plays all originals, which is kind of where a lot of the elitism comes from. It usually seems to be the originals, which I prefer originals myself more than covers. Then when you get to the cover bands, it's like the cover bands have their own kind of like elite vibe. There's the regular cover bands, and then there's the tribute acts. And the tribute acts kind of look at the cover bands the same way the originals look at the cover bands and the tribute acts. It's like, it's this weird, we're doing the same thing, but because I'm just doing one band or maybe one style of music, that's really what I would like to see change in the guitar community. And it'll never change because it's been that way ever since I picked up an instrument. Because it even goes back to like genres, man. Guys that were playing metal back when I was a kid, we kind of looked down at the guys playing punk, or the guys that were playing alternative rock or country. And everybody's just enjoying music, enjoying the instrument. And at the end of the day, you should give zero shits what somebody else does. Yeah, this black hardware in my fucking blind eyes, this is really a pain to do. But I'm almost done with this guitar, so I figure when I get done stringing it up, just do a quick little play on it at the end. You know, that could be a cool way to do the series. What do you guys think? Talk about stuff for a little bit, and then play on it a little bit after I get done setting it up. So yeah, basically that's the whole topic of the video. Is it really gets old hearing people talk about other people like that, like, oh, you're not a real musician. Anybody that's a musician is a real musician, whether or not you agree with what they're doing. So I'm gonna get this set up, do a couple little licks on it, and call it a day. As bad as I play, nobody can ever say I'm faking. Holy shit, that was bad. I just gotta say, I don't mean to do this as a commercial. The microphone's not on, so I don't know how it's gonna sound. I really do enjoy these strings. String Joy is, they're really cool, man. These 10.5s feel so much better than the 10s. And they just feel good under the fingers, man. Like I said, I'm not trying to do a commercial. I just really enjoy it. That's why I asked them if I could be the artist, an endorsed artist. They agreed, and I will use String Joys for as long as time exists.